Hi, I'm Claire, and I play Pokemon for the fashion.
And I'm Isaac, and I just realized that this is what I said last week. I never updated it.
All right. Good
Uh,
start. Good start.
Hi, I'm Isaac. Wait, no, hold on. Should we start from the beginning, or do you think
I'm
you could clip
keeping
it in?
all of this.
Geez. Okay, I'm Isaac, and I lasted 1 minute in Super Hexagon.
Okay, well. Oh, nope. I guess we have to redo it. I just forgot we had to everything else in the intro.
I this is actually good content,
This is good
and
content. Hashtag content. All right. And this is
make that
that
game
game.
where we'll eventually sync that together. And
We
what we're going to
pitched
do is we're going to
the
pitch the latest and greatest
greatest.
new video game
They'll
ideas.
never be made.
Whew, that was a rough one. This this is good for the episode.
Yeah, this is like you said, it's content. Okay. Yeah, it bodes well. So if you could, I don't think you can tell, but this is podcast at night. So
Night
usually, which
podcast.
means past 5 p.m. Usually we record in the morning. Maybe we're a little punchier than usual. I don't know.
Yep. I drank so much caffeine I started vibrating out of sync with the rest of the universe today, and I'm just
Amazing.
coming off that ride. So
I did want to say in editing some of the previous episodes, it was funny because episode 1, you went first with Honk. No, I went first with Honks and Bonks. And then episode 2, you said, well, I went first last time. So Claire, you should go first.
oh, really? I thought I did
Yeah.
go first. Huh.
No. I just
Well,
thought that was funny. I just want to point out you're a cutie.
since you went first last time, do you want to do you want to talk about your latest gaming endeavors?
Sure. So my latest gaming endeavor, really just one, has been Pokemon Age of Arceus.
Oh wow,
Ar-
you're just copying me. It's Pokemon Legends of Arceus.
Legends of Arceus. Yes.
Pokemon Legends Arceus? I actually don't know.
It has an Arceus word in it, and it's
It,
the
it,
new Pokemon. Isaac talked about it last week. And I've been watching him play, and I said, hey, do you think I can try that game? And he said, absolutely, you can try that game. And now that's the only game and thing that I really want to do lately. I actually have had to put a limit on myself for playing Pokemon because it's just getting in the way of my life. Just got to
too
get
much
those
Pokemon.
Pokemon. Too much Pokemon. There's too many tasks.
You
So
see Mareeps when you close your eyes.
I don't know what a Mareep is, so I
It's a
don't.
sheep Pokemon.
Oh
I
yeah.
think I mixed two things because like that counting sheep is when you're trying to sleep. So
Yeah,
I don't know why you would see Mareeps in. Anyways,
I'm interested in what you've been up to.
well, it turns out I can't play video games in a week, so I'm still playing Witcher 3 and I'm still playing Legends of Arceus.
Mhm.
Um, Still working on my own game. I think I mentioned that last week. But yeah, I'm in stasis right now. Nothing has changed in my gaming life. I've done nothing new. I've just gotten further in Pokemon Legends of Arceus.
Yeah, you're ahead
I'm
of
gonna
me now,
keep calling it Pokemon Legends of Arceus.
and just hope it's right.
Yeah, and I've been doing every side quest in both games. So, I
Yeah.
will never be done with them. I think I've got like 80, 90 hours in Witcher 3 so far and like 20 hours in Pokemon.
I feel like what's going to happen in Pokemon is I'll beat the game but have like a rank 4 of for exploring,
I
and
wonder
you'll
if rank
still be
has
playing.
anything to do.
Well, no, so it does allow you to control Pokemon of higher level. So I think I will have to rank up, but I just think that like I'll beat, like, you're ahead of me in the game now, but I think I'll beat you in beating the game. But I just won't have. I'll still have like 10 open quests. Like, well, sorry, you're never getting a big boozle or whatever.
Apparently that big weasel's. I cannot find the big weasel,
The big
but
weasel, according to an article, maybe we can share, is it's easiest if you do the alpha.
oh, that makes sense. Oh, I
Did you
I
not
linked
read
you
the
that
art?
article. I did read the article. I just forgot
Okay.
about it.
I was gonna say, did you send it to me based on the headline alone? That's bad.
I did, and then I read it.
Wow. That is not media literacy.
Hey, well, so anyways, do you have any honks or bonks you'd like to share with that game that we've been talking about?
I do. Yes, I definitely do. So
And
again,
to remind the listeners, a honk is good despite being associated with clowns,
yeah.
and a bonk is bad because it's like getting bonked with a little foam bat on the head. Just a little bonk.
So yeah, I am obsessed with it, which I didn't expect. I do think a fun fact is that I discovered buying clothes and updating your outfit pretty much immediately, because the outfit they put you in initially just looked so cumbersome and uncomfortable. Like there's so many layers. I was like, I'm on the beach trying to catch Pokemon. I need to move around. I cannot work in these conditions.
But it's armor, so that when Pokemon attack you, it protects you.
Yeah, but there's no mechanic for that. Like it's not actual armor.
Yeah, well, maybe they should have a mechanic for it.
Well, if they had a mechanic for it, it'd be different, but they don't.
That's my bonk. They don't have a mechanic for clothes giving you armor.
Yeah, so you can wear whatever you want and you're still going to be just as vulnerable to attacks. So I immediately changed outfits. Isaac didn't even know that you could do that until I was like, no, I bought a new outfit instantly.
You have to.
You have to. So now I get to do that, which is really fun. And I usually spend most of my money on haircuts and outfits. So the honks, including the haircuts and outfits. Actually, I have cool outfits as the second honk. So I just talked about that. Yeah, I actually really enjoy buying the outfits, the haircuts. You get to, one of the people you help turns into a new hairdresser who gives you like way cooler styles and cool colored hair. Like that's awesome. So I really enjoy that. The other honk I have is that Pokemon are really adorable. They're very cute. They make cute sounds.
Even Machoke?
Nope, he's not cute. So I guess this isn't like a blanket statement, but pretty much all Pokemon who are not humanoid are really cute. The humanoid ones make me go, no, thank you. But I mean, I get to pick and choose who's on my team, so I don't have to really worry about that. And I just really enjoy how cute they are. And I think the way the game looks, because I've seen Pokemon games before, but besides Pokemon Go, they didn't really feel, or at Pokemon Snap, they didn't really feel real to me. They're just like little 8-bit guys. Like, you know, they're kind of cute, but this is like, they feel like really cute. And I also really like that when you take them out of your Pokeball, you can see them in size comparison to yourself. So you get a really good idea of how big or small they really are in real life, which I think just adds to the cute.
You can't pet them, which I hope is a bonk.
I didn't put that, but I mean, at least you can talk to them, right? And they go,
yeah. Yeah, make them make their shout.
Yeah. So, and it also is really cute when you have like a giant alpha Pokemon who's scary with glowing eyes, and then you're like, go Oshawa, and it's like this like adorable tiny little guy with like this little squeaky, and he's just like right there in this giant, I don't know, it's cute, it's adorable.
On the opposite end of the spectrum, you have the enormous alphas like using moves like Hyper Beam, just completely annihilating your little Eevees, just this massive laser beam coming out of their mouth, and it's like Godzilla's atomic breath is just destroying this 12-inch tall Eevee.
I mean, at that point, it's basically camp, right? Like
that's true.
It's part of the experience. It's just silly and great. So I love that. Like the characters look so cute. And I will say, so this is the first Pokemon game I've ever really played. I tried one on my friend's, I think it was a Game Boy Color. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's a little handheld thing.
That would have been a long time. That would have been like the 90s.
Well, but so she had it. I tried it in college, but she had it from whenever. Maybe it's newer. PC. PlayStation. That's what I meant. Does PlayStation have a handheld thing? No.
Yeah, it has a PSP, but Pokemon is Nintendo specific.
Okay, never mind.
But emulators are on the PSP, but that's a topic for another day, maybe.
My other honk is that it feels like Toontown, which I found out is technically a MMORPG, which is a multi.
What was that?
MMORPG.
An MMORPG?
An MMORPG.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. An
Um, a
an
Murgro.
MMR2D2.
Yes. So I actually found, so I played a Morgirl back in the day. Wow. I was actually, you were right on episode 1. I am an old head. I go way back. But no one really would. So I didn't have fast internet growing up, so I had to play Toontown at my friend's house because you needed faster internet, obviously, to process that because it is a morg, and which is the right way to say it. And when so we didn't have like they had some kind of paid account, but I didn't have the full access because I wasn't their child. So I don't feel like I got to fully explore Toontown and like do all the tasks. But the reason this feels like Toontown, and again, maybe this is just games, I don't play this kind of game very much, is because you go to the big building to report stuff. And the building is so comically large.
Every game is Toontown. Yes.
But
based on this criteria.
Is it always comically large though? Like the building is ridiculous.
No.
Like
some games you don't even have quests, let alone large buildings to return quests into.
So basically Toontown, I'm just going to go deep into Toontown for a second. So you have your little house and your little toon, which you get to create. And then the world is being overtaken by things called cogs, which are evil and they look like business. And they take over buildings and then they're dressed like business people. And then they take over buildings and the buildings turn from like these fun, bubbly toon buildings to like office buildings, like think New York City skyscrapers. So you can be just walking down the street and encounter a cog and like fight them and defeat them. But you can also overtake buildings, like reclaim territory in your town. Usually you need more than one toon to do that. Like you have to team up because you're not going to have enough power. And what's great is like everyone, so the cogs use things like business papers, like sharp, like slash you, or like things like that. And then you have like whoopee cushion, pie to the face. Like, so they really leaned into this. It was just absolutely great.
Quick question. Was Toontown Disney, Cartoon Network, none of the above?
I want to say Disney eventually owned it. I'm Googling it right now. Toontown made by who?
Okay, the hard-hitting research into video game history.
Right. Toontown. So Disney. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I wonder if Mickey Mouse ever made an appearance in the old Toontown.
Oh yeah, Mickey Mouse was in the big building. Now that I remember.
He was Captain Commodore or Commander Commodore.
Right. Commander Commando. Okay. That's what I call him. Yes. So back to Pokemon. So this has kind of a similar feel. You're not fighting things with each other, but the idea that like there's side quests where you're going to have battles, but then there's bigger like story moving quests that you're going to have to like bulk up for, and that you have to continually go back to report to this location. And again, I think it's just the location too, just looks a lot like the city hall in Toontown because it's so obnoxiously large, which is a bonk I'll get to. So I like that. Pokemons are adorable. I also like that the game. So one of the reasons I wanted to play is because I noticed that the conceit of the game is that you who are playing have just been thrown into a world where Pokemon exist. You did not know of the existence of Pokemon previously. So I was like, but that's me because I don't know much about Pokemon. So I feel like this game's going to hold my hand in a way that I'll appreciate and that I'll actually get to learn about how this works and how Pokemon work. I think part of the Pokemon franchise that made it hard for me to ever really try anything besides Pokemon Go was that it felt like if you didn't do it when you were 8, like you're good luck. Like it's not going to happen. So this felt like a fresh start. Like I don't have to actually know what Pokemon are because my character doesn't, and I'm going to learn along the way. So that was nice. So my bonks.
Yeah, let's hear those bonks.
So as much as I said it does feel like it helps me along, I still feel like it doesn't help me enough, which is probably a really unusual bonk for anyone but me. But if I hadn't been watching Isaac do things, I feel like I would be Googling constantly on this game. Like even that, like he has to tell me like, oh, you didn't know this showed that, or you don't know that, like that symbol means this, or, you know, all these different little details that playing Pokemon for many, many different games you get. Whereas
so a lot of those little details are new to this game. by the way. Like those
Well,
symbols that appear next to your moves.
yeah.
I don't think any other Pokemon game straight up
Well,
tells
then how
you,
did you figure that out?
because it's on the screen and I looked at it. Is
But
how I intuited it. Or I wouldn't say intuit it, but like literally it was just when I was presented with the screen, I took a look at it and I absorbed the information upon it.
yeah. So I guess I don't know if it means I'm bad at that, but I think there is this like video game literacy that people have who've been playing for a long
I could
time.
see that. Like it might be more natural for me to look at the menu, see those symbols, which on they're triangles, squares, and circles or something,
Yeah.
and for me to be like, okay, what do these mean? And instantly try to figure it out, where you might just skip past them and think that they're window dressing. And then I think there's another level of it where, like, if I'm fighting a flying type Pokemon and I see that an electric type move is a circle, I go, oh, that's super effective because the ground type is a triangle, and triangle means doesn't work against it or whatever. I think it's an X for does not work at all, but like,
Yeah, the X makes the most sense intuitively, but
yeah, I do have some baseline level of knowledge, both in video games in general and Pokemon specifically, that helps me parse kind of the information that it presents to me without necessarily needing a tutorial. And I kind of skipped through a lot of things pretty quickly, so I don't know if any of this appears in a tutorial proper.
there's just a lot to look at on each screen and it's kind of, yeah, it's a little overwhelming. Um the battles are really repetitive is my other bonk.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a thing with Pokemon, I think.
like it's exciting to battle the alphas and the ones that are frenzied, or to find a new Pokemon or one that you've been looking for a while, or a high level. Like those things are really fun and that kind of keeps you going. But oh my gosh, if another Geodude tries to attack me, it's like, stop, dude, just stop. Because I can defeat them so easily. So it's like, but you have to do the whole thing. You have to go throw it, and then it's like da da da, and you have to pick one, and it's just, oh, do we have to do all that? I don't. I'm
Yes,
just
it's an
gonna
integral
destroy
part of the
you.
experience.
So that's tough because it's like that gets repetitive, and I get a little unmotivated to explore, which is why I'm a lower rank than Isaac by a lot at this point. It looks like. So yeah, so it's like I'm really excited when I find the new Pokemon, but when I just keep seeing the same ones over and over, I'm like, ugh, move on. All right, and then yeah, my last bonk is that there's 4 stories in that stupid building, and you have to run all the way down a giant hall and all the way up a giant staircase to get to each one.
And there's no yeah, if there was fast travels between each
Like
story,
it takes
I
you
would be
longer,
fine with it.
probably. Now I might have to time this. I think it probably takes you longer to go through the entirety of the building where you're supposed to report things than it would to like go through the entire town, because you have fast travel points in the town.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's very frustrating. And it's a little thing, but every time I'm in there, I'm like, this is the silliest thing. And again, everything in there is just comically huge and like set up in a really weird way. Which is weird. Regardless of any bonks, I will still be playing the Pokemon.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll go through mine, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna maybe speed through this a little. Not sure how much I have to say, but I'm gonna honk and bonk a game called Beast Breakers by Vodio Games. I think it's called Vodio Games. Hold on, I gotta look this up because they're an indie company, and if anybody needs
We're
it,
a research podcast. You're getting the hard hitting facts
well,
today.
I just want to cite my source accurately so that people can go out and find this game to play it. So it is Beastbreaker, developed and published by Vodio Games. So Beastbreaker is a game where you play as a mouse and you fight these enormous crystalline monsters. Let's see if I can describe the mechanics. So you set a path and you bounce around, and the big beasts that you're breaking, they're made of a number of crystals, and each crystal has its hit points. And as you bounce between them, you're doing different damage depending on which move you're doing. It's a pretty interesting little game. It's out on Switch and I've got it right in front of me. Switch, PC, and Mac. So you can probably get it on Steam. Oh no, apparently Epic Game Store exclusive. So I suggest people check it out. I had spent quite a bit of time with it when it first came out. full disclosure, I have not yet beaten it, so maybe I'm not this is not. I mean, we've been honking and bonking games that we haven't beaten, but my honks to start. Very fun. It's got a very cute art style, and it just feels really good to smash. That was actually three different honks, but let me expand on that last one. So the sound of smashing into crystals and bouncing around and doing damage just makes me extremely viscerally happy. It's very satisfying, very crunchy, very smashy. All like the first episode I pitched a game about missiles and explosions and helicopters, and this hits the same pleasure centers of the brain, I think, as that game concept, where they've just done really excellent sound. The graphics, there's as the crystals crack and you leave like a little poof as you smack against them. They have a wide variety of like different weapon types, and each weapon type kind of corresponds to a different play style. So you get to make your choice. Like you get like meaningful choices, and I am not very good with like the bow and arrow is a choice, or the sword and shield I'm also not super good with, but there's a hammer which suits how I want to solve problems very well. And the weapons kind of have pluses and minuses and are good or bad versus different types of beasts, because there are different types of beasts. And then each beast, in addition to its type, also has like modifiers that can play into how your weapons actually do against them.
So,
but like
I've seen you play this. So the beasts are made of the shapes, right? And do they
yes,
move, or they're just kind of
they
there?
do move.
Okay.
So this is going to go directly into my bonks. So some stuff in it is just completely beyond my brain to grasp. Like they're in the battle, the beasts will do attacks, and they will show you the area that the beast is going to attack. So you know by the end of your move, you need to be outside of that area. And then the beast will do an attack, and it will completely like reform itself after the attack in like a different position. So that's kind of how it moves around. I don't think they have just a moving thing. It all takes place in like one arena. They never, it's not like they're constantly walking away and you have to line up things with moving things. But one of the things that's beyond my ability to grasp is if there's any way for me to like manipulate the attack types. Like there was this one beast I was fighting which kept moving in such a way that when it ended its attack, it would always have like it would have its strongest side facing me, and I had no way to really get into the crystals to smash them. So I ended up running out of turns because you have a set number of actions for the fight. So it just kept putting me in a position where just in order to get an attack in, I would have to spend most of my turn and maybe get one attack. And I don't know if there was something that I was supposed to do to manipulate it to act a certain way so that I could get to its vulnerable points easier, or it left them more exposed or not. So that's one of my bonks is I don't get that. Another thing I don't get is there's this hunt sequence. Like you go on a mission and sometimes you need to find like it plops you down in a hex-based map. You spawn at like a little town, and then there's a beast on the map, and then you move around. The beast moves around. It's sort of turn-based. It might be actually real time. I cannot wrap my head around the exact mechanics of that, but the beast will power up by hitting certain points on the map, and then you have to find the beast, you have to forage for certain supplies, and then go back to the city, and then you can make upgrades for the fight. And I found that every time that I actually spend the time foraging, that the beast finds all of its upgrade points. So I either go straight for the beast, and sometimes it still finds a power up by the time I find it. Sometimes I'm able to get it before it gets any power ups, or I fully power myself up and the beast is also fully powered up. And I don't know the relative strengths of the power ups. Like, I don't know if I still get some advantage out of that, or if the beast is just, it's as if I just rushed into the beast when we're both fully upgraded. So I'm not 100% certain on the mechanic. And I had one time where by the time I found the beast, it had found all of its own upgrades and got into this city that I needed to protect before I even found it. So it was like, okay, I did not have time to collect any of my own upgrades and I had to fight it. And that might have
Oh,
actually even been the one that kept arranging itself to be as defended as possible, and I ended up losing against that one. But those are my bunks. They're a little cryptic. I mean, I might not even like it might explain further on in the game or something, because I played it quite a bit, but I doubt that it had fully explained all the mechanics. I feel like there was still more for it to expand on. I don't know how short or long of a game it is, but yeah, I might have been trying to do things too early before they gave a chance. They sent the tutorial at me. I might have missed it in a tutorial, or I could just be dumb. But yeah, that's Beast Breakers by Vodio Games.
awesome. All right. Yeah, I remember you when you were playing that.
Do you have a game for me? I want to
I
hear your
do.
game idea, Claire.
Okay. Yes, I do have a game for you. Yeah. Here it is. Working title. The game is called Wardrobe.
Okay, so it's about a robe that protects people.
No,
Oh, dang it.
no. And it's not about clothes either. Haha. So Wardrobe is a story style game, sort of. I will say, as far as like idea, like the vibes I have down, the like mechanics, it's a little dicey.
Okay, now I do have an immediate question, if you
Yeah.
don't mind.
Yeah.
What is a story style game?
Like Life is Strange.
Okay, so like a story based adventure game, I guess that would either I
Yeah.
would consider that either a adventure game or even visual novel to a certain extent.
Well, but yeah, but there's gonna be like some action. Like Life is Strange,
Okay.
you have to do stuff,
Okay, then
There's
adventure.
like
We'll say adventure game.
yeah. Well, because it might be a little more adventure than Life is Strange. Because here's the idea: you're four siblings. You live in your uncle's mansion, and you have to find portals to other worlds in everyday lives.
Oh, I
Is
get
it
this.
is it a parody of Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? It is. You got it.
Okay.
It is.
All right. I
It's
like
supposed,
this.
so it's supposed to be a lighthearted parody. So it's kind of like not making fun of, because I do love those books and I love the genre of like here's a portal to another world. But yeah, it's a parody of that. Like, ooh, and then I went through the pencil sharpener and now I'm you know. Um, so I also want it to have like a turn-based RPG style, which was what makes it different than a story game. So the idea would be, because you're the four siblings and each sibling has different abilities. So you can like use those abilities. That's
Okay.
what that does, right? That's like when you have like, I'm the strong man and I'm gonna have him
Yes.
fight, and then the next person does a different thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So the story of the game is that these four siblings have agreed to house sit their uncle's enormous mansion for the summer. And there's going to be references all throughout the dialogue that's like, it's that like imply how ridiculous it is to have four teenagers house sit for a summer. Because
Okay.
the actual story of Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is much more sad, where they're sent off because of a war. So I wanted it to be silly and fun. And then it's going to be the time period is going to be on purpose unclear. And but like again, as a joke. So like they might have iPhones, but also like a turnstile phone, like a
I
dial.
like this.
So it's just like you have no idea what time period it's supposed to be. And then each world they find is going to be small, and we'll just have like one quest, and it's going to link to a bigger story. So like if you find pencil sharpener world, maybe it's like an ice world, and you have to like clear a block of ice so a cute little squirrel can exist, and then you're done with ice world. And some would be bigger than others, but they're going to be kind of silly. So like Blizzard world, no gravity world, you get it. Little things, very small.
Okay.
And then yeah, they'd be in silly objects. So things like telephones, cat trees, behind a picture, in the toilet, like all these just like silly objects. But ideally it would all connect to some kind of bigger story or mystery. That again, I'm like, I don't know how that works, but that works. And so you'd be mostly the game, you're exploring the mansion, you're trying to find these portals, you're probably leveling up through the portal quests. There's going to be some sibling drama, obviously, but that's the game. That's Wardrobe.
All right. Well, this is actually out of most of the games, out of any of the games I think we've said so far, this is actually, it sounds like the most easily achievable. Like we could make this.
We could make
tonight.
that game.
We could make that game. Although the point of this podcast is that
it's to
we
not
won't.
make the game. Yeah.
But I feel like this could be done with RPG Maker.
Wow.
RPG Maker. I mean, it's not too complex. It doesn't break away from the RPG format enough. Like you could work on this. We could work on this together. This could be the official Make That Game.
Make that game. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. But I'm interested. Isaac, do you have a pitch for me?
I do. I have a little game that I like to call Banana Flip.
Banana Flip. All right.
Yeah. Yep.
Tell me more.
So this is another, I'm going to say arcade style. This is, when I say arcade style, I think we said this in like the first or second episode or something. I used the phrase arcade style.
It does not mean Space Invaders.
It does not mean Space Invaders. I'm using it to, whenever I say it, I generally mean it is a quick, you start it up, you press start, you're in a level, and you play until you lose. And your goal is to get a high score. That's basically what I'm going to mean 90% of the time when I say arcade style, is you're looking to get a high score in an easy bite size gaming period. It might be designed to eat quarters, but who knows? So anyways, Banana Flip. Bananas fall from the sky.
Yes.
And your character has to catch them. So 2D pixel art.
So is this inspired? I have to ask.
Okay. Gorillas?
Yeah.
It is not inspired by gorillas. Okay. Actually, I was looking at bananas.
Yeah.
And I said banana flip to myself instead of banana split. And that's where this game idea came from.
Okay. Just had to check.
So it's literally because I looked at bananas and my brain put the wrong word in place.
That's how the best ideas.
Right? So yeah. So bananas, they're falling from the sky and you have to catch them. You just have to catch them. But also you have to do tricks to score points. Like you can just catch them, but you're not going to score enough points. It'll be like the Pokemon balloon mini game. Where like, yeah, you can just pop a bunch of balloons, but you need to chain the pops together to get enough points to get the prizes and win the quest. So bananas will be falling, you jump, you catch multiple bananas in one single jump. That's going to get you a chain score modifier. You do some fancy flips in midair, and that's going to get you more points because you're doing fancy stuff. And then you can do the ultimate risky move. You can take a banana that you've already caught and you can throw it to hit other bananas. And then the more that like that chain of events happens and you still catch all the bananas involved, the more points you get. So like you could throw a banana to hit a banana in midair, which causes it to hit another banana in midair. And then you like flip, wall jump, and then catch all three bananas again. Boom. That's so many points right there.
That seems very complicated.
But you could also lose the banana, and that's the glory of it. Is this game is it's all about creativity and doing complicated things with a very simple premise. Now, the challenge mode, there's going to be two modes. There's going to be the free play mode, which is going to be the more arcadey, in play until you drop too many bananas. That'll be the metric for if you failed or not. Is if you drop a certain number of bananas or run out of time, then you lose the free play mode. And the bananas will drop semi-randomly. They'll probably have set like a number of predetermined patterns. Instead of just like completely randomly bananas falling, it'll be like, okay, a banana will drop in a U shape. And then if the player figures out how to catch all those bananas, they get so many points. And it just does that infinitely. And then there's the challenge mode where bananas, it'll be one mission and you have to score. You not only have to catch every single banana, but you do have to score a certain number of points in order to beat that specific challenge. So like the level will be completely handcrafted. It will drop bananas in a very specific way. And then it's up for the player to figure out how to get the number of points required to win the challenge level and then move on. And then there's like, 99 challenge levels. There would be a set amount, and maybe you could buy more in DLC packs if this game proved financially viable in any way.
Well, whenever you pitch an arcade style, I always imagine it actually be being played in an arcade.
Actually, yeah. If arcades still existed, I think
They
I would.
do
I think I would
exist.
have a lucrative career just making quarter munchers.
I mean, they do exist though,
They
right?
do, yes.
Yeah.
Although I don't know how active of a scene that is,
I
but
think, I don't know. Every time I went to like a bar arcade, it was
oh,
hopping.
barcades are still popular. But the last
But then
time I
there's
went
like
to
the
a
beach.
barcade, oh,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, last time I went to a barcade, like 99% of the machines were broken in some way. Either like they didn't even accept quarters, or the joysticks or the buttons
Well, that
stuck or
just means it's
something.
a bad barcade.
Yeah,
Um, the other thing is I feel like a lot of beach in the beach area around here, like almost every beach has an arcade.
I don't go to beaches very often.
Yeah. Well, but you could go for the arcade.
Yeah,
Thing.
that's true.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I
You go
think there's a
swimming, I'll go to the arcade.
yeah. I think there's all right. And then my other final question for this game is: are you going to incorporate slipping on banana peels in any way?
Yes,
Okay.
and that will both be so it'll make it more difficult for you to catch bananas, but it will also be a fun trick.
I was gonna say because you could use it to get like some momentum or like do some fancy moves. Okay, cool, good.
But it also means that you either missed or specifically threw bananas on the ground. So like when bananas hit the ground, they become, I can't believe I didn't describe this part. A banana that hits the ground becomes a banana peel, which will cause you to slip. So
Okay,
this is
good,
another
good,
one of
good.
those risky moves, is you can allow a banana to drop to make the next banana you catch all the more impressive.
I like it. I'm good. I'm in. Banana flip.
Yeah, so that's banana flip and wardrobe. And I think
Yeah,
that means we're ready for a rapid fire round.
we are. So the rapid fire round to refresh your memories. I talk like a game show host, and no, we generate 3 words live on air. We do not look at them ahead of time, and we have 5 minutes to come up with a featured mechanic for the game, a story for the game, and then the title of the game based on those 3 words. And we have to incorporate them in some way, even if we might change the meanings a little bit, but all 3 have to be there somewhere.
We're pretty loosey goosey sometimes, which I hope one of our words today is goose or loose.
That would be good.
Or goose and loose.
I mean, I will say Untitled Goose Game kind of has the market cornered.
It does. We would not be able to come up with an idea that would compete with it.
No. All right, here we go. Are we ready for our first 3 words?
Yes. Tell me when to start the timer.
Okay, start the timer.
Started.
Room. Like I'm in a room.
Yep.
Dough, which could mean bread, dough, or like money.
Okay.
And I forgot the 3rd word.
How does this happen?
Because I closed it.
Oh, geez.
Because when I leave it open, it makes the audio bad.
Oh.
Room, dough, and something else. Should I do another one?
Nope. Let's just stick with room and dough. So okay. You're in a room. You have the materials to make bread, and the only way out of this room is through a window at the top of the room. So you have to bake enough bread to get out to escape the room.
So you can like stand on the bread?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you bake the bread, and then you have to arrange the bread in such a way so that you can escape. That's my idea. If you know any kinds of bread that happens to rhyme with escape.
No. The only kinds of bread I know are sourdough, focaccia, focaccia,
Focaccia,
like faux, like evil.
Oh wait. Or focaccia.
Focaccia.
And then that's why you're escaping, because your foe caught you.
There's baguette. Baguette breakout.
Focaccia. We might be looking at the same list of bread types.
Oh, I'm not looking at it. I'm not looking at.
Oh, okay.
This is from my mind. There's rye, pumpernickel.
None of these look like escape
Multigrain.
Vinaka, tortilla, soda bread, castibi, arepa.
Soda bread is good.
Bagel, multigrain.
Bagel breakout.
Oh, pita. but like PITA escape.
Isn't PETA spelled PITA?
Yes, but like
Oh, you're
as
saying
the acronym,
PETA escape.
because it's a pain in the butt.
What? I've never heard of that.
PITA, pain
No.
in the
I have never heard
arse.
that. I have never heard that.
Okay, well,
Isn't pita bread just spelled like that?
it is, but I'm saying the acronym.
Why don't you just say PETA escape? PETA escape. Although, but
okay.
I think PETA is like the worst bread to highlight because it's the worst one to stand on. It's very flat.
It's the flattest.
Like if you're gonna escape somewhere by building bread, it probably is gonna be baguette related because you need a thick crust. Like it's gonna be baguette tangential.
Okay. Yeah, no, I've got no bread-based puns that I can make, that I can get out here.
Yeast adventure.
Yeast adventure. Okay, yeast
The
adventure.
sun sets in the yeast.
Baker's dozen.
Baker's doesn't.
Whoo. Okay.
What about wait, I got it. Window. DOUGH.
Oh, okay.
Window.
Boom. Window.
Because you're trying to get to the window with dough.
All right.
And win.
Boom. With 30 seconds left to spare.
Wow. Right in. All right. Let's do actually 3 words this time. Are you ready?
Okay. Yes. But can you remember the 3 words this time?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
That was the only time I ever forgot. All right. I'm going to leave it open just in case.
Okay.
Tray, like lunch tray.
Okay.
Cash and tension.
Tray, cash, and tension.
Not intention, just tension.
Right.
Like a tension wire.
Yes.
Tray. So tray always makes me think of lunch. Lunch tray, lunchroom, cafeteria.
Right. Okay.
Tray.
Tension
cash.
makes me think that there is a bungee cord and / or rope of some sort involved.
Okay. Maybe it's like you're delivering lunches on a tray.
Teenagers scared the living. So all right, that's a mindless My Chemical Romance song. But I just thought about teenagers that scare the crap out of you. So there's a bunch of teenagers and they're in a frenzy and you've got to lower the food down to them because it's unsafe. Because it's unsafe.
Is that okay? So the tension is the lowering, the tray is the food. What about the cash?
You only give food to kids that give you lunch money.
How are they giving you lunch money if they're in a frenzy in like a pit?
They're at the table and they have a little coin slot and they put a coin in, and those are the nice polite kids, but you have to lower it down to them in a way that the frenzied kids don't eat it.
No, I'm in there. I'm in it. All right. You got me. Let's do it. So teenage tension. No.
I would just say feeding frenzy.
Feeding frenzy is definitely already a game.
Yeah, but you can have multiple games with the same name.
I guess, but
that's just a fact. That's a scientific fact. We
do better. That's why I was like, can't we do better than that?
I mean, if you want to try.
This is the podcast that invented Moulin Rouge.
You're right.
And the first ever soap in worlds game.
Yeah, you're right.
We can do better.
Well, okay. All right. Well, we've got 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
All right. So let's see. Teenagers, lunch, hungry, lunchtime, clocks, tables, ropes, tension, bungee cord, burger bungee. Is that anything?
It's something. All right. It's not nothing.
Lunch chaos.
Okay. On the nose.
Well, so is feeding frenzy.
That's true. But it's less on the nose, I feel, than just like, yes, this is a lunchroom. Okay. All right. Well, I don't have any. I should not be talking smack when I don't have anything better, I guess, to offer.
Well, feeding frenzy is already an arcade game that 97% of Google users like.
Okay.
So I just feel like we just can't.
Takoyaki tension.
What's takoyaki?
Takoyaki is a Japanese street food.
Okay. Is this set in Japan?
No.
It could be.
It could be. You're right. I don't know what a Japanese lunchroom in like a middle school looks like. I don't know if they do the same thing, if it's anything like my American experience. But, we could be an American school that serves street food, exotic street food.
Maybe we can do feeding frenzy, but to differentiate, it can be feeding frenzy. So there's already feeding frenzy 2. We can say feeding frenzy, teenagers revenge.
Okay, feeding frenzy, teenagers revenge. Let's go with that one. We've got 50 seconds
confuse
left.
People.
Yeah.
Which is always good.
And they think that it's a sequel, and we'll get sued. Oh no.
And we'll get sued. Yay!
Okay. Last rapid
this is
fire.
a game that will never be made, so it's totally fine.
That's fair. It is totally fine.
Here we go. The 3 words are. These are like too close together. Kid.
Okay.
Unaware. Notebook.
Oh. Okay. No, this is passing notes in class, but it's set up like a sports game.
Okay, so do they have to like pass it like a football?
Yeah, it's like pass like a football, and
and if like someone gets the wrong note, then like big trouble.
So I would specifically I would pretty much exactly set this game up so the gameplay is the same as like the Madden games I played on Sega Genesis as a child. I don't know what modern Madden games look like. Those are football games, by the way. Where you have before the play starts, you set the play, you set the play for your team to try to enact, and that controls like where the different classmates are going to move or be, and then like you control whoever is actively holding the ball, or the note in this case. But instead of an enemy team, there's just a teacher that like turns around or
I think it should be more complicated than just the classroom. Like, yeah, there could be teachers, but there also could be like the wrong person gets the note, they're going to spread the hot goss like wildfire.
Okay. And then they'll sort of be trying to run past interference, and there might be, I don't know, narcs or something that'll try to wake up the teacher. So your job is to pass the note before they get to the teacher.
Yeah, and I'm honestly even imagining like hallways,
okay, so there could be different arenas,
lunchrooms. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, when I say the wrong person, I don't mean they're gonna tattle. I mean they're gonna tell Julie that Jim said that Tony has a crush on Amanda. Like that's the stakes here. They're pretty high.
Yeah, and I'm also suggesting the tattle as like a secondary type of thing,
right.
So that there's multiple.
There's a lot. You could end up
people
in detention.
Working against you.
I almost want so if you fail, kind of like the old school Oregon Trail, where it's like you have died of dysentery. It's like you have passed away from embarrassment.
Oh.
Or like shrunken into embarrassment. Anyway, yeah. Okay, so now we need a name.
Oh.
I feel like I'm not on point tonight with names, so
I wonder if is it. So can you think of a generic enough school name that would be like recognizably a school?
No,
because I can think of like PSU, and like people might recognize that as like a public school, but because I want to try to do like the same naming system as Madden 2000 whatever. So because this would reflect like our high school experience, it would be like something 2007. So it would be
our high school experience.
Be like a you weren't in high school in 2007?
No, I think I was.
That I chose.
No, I wasn't.
Really? I thought you were.
Think so. I graduated in 2011. So I guess I would have been my first year.
I should have. Oh, okay. Boom. That's what I was thinking, because
like
I graduated 2008. So
yeah.
Who boy. Anyways,
barely in high school.
Barely in high school.
I mean, could you just call it Call it texting 2007. 'Cause that's how
No, but texting existed at that time.
right,
People
but it
had
was
cell phones.
yeah. It just
So
wasn't
we
like
can't
the
even
same.
be like making that joke because it
Okay.
would be too late.
Yeah.
We would have to go earlier than that. That would be the 1990s version of this game.
Yeah.
Like if we set it in the 1990s, which I don't know if high schoolers passed notes. They did.
They must have. I think high schoolers have passed notes since the beginning of time.
That's true. Yeah.
Or since the beginning of high school, at least.
Nope.
Nope.
0 AD. There was high schoolers and they were passing notes. We have 30 seconds to come over.
Oh gosh. Okay. I like your idea though. It's just like high school. You can't just call it high school 2007.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what you call like the activity of passing notes.
No. Gossip Girl 2007. No, Gossip Girl is already out in 2007.
It could just be Gossip 2007. We have 3 seconds. Gossip 2007.
That's it. Gossip 2007. Okay, great.
Okay.
It's like Windows 97. It has like the same vibes.
Boom. There we go.
All right. Well,
that was our rapid fire. That was
a challenging one.
Yeah, I'm gonna say not our best display.
It's okay. You have. This is how you know, listener, that this is live. This is happening.
Yeah.
This is.
We don't
uncut.
fake it. We don't come up with ideas beforehand.
We don't cut many things.
We cut all the ums out except for that because it would be weird.
I stopped doing that. That was too much. I cut some of the ums, and then when it's really boring, I do cut it.
It's never boring on this podcast.
No.
Except for when there's no new episodes to listen to.
Oh no.
Speaking of which, that's the end of this episode, I think. Yeah.
And if you like this podcast and are enjoying it and find great comfort in it, we would love for you to give us a review on whatever app you listen to, though I've heard that Apple is the best for reviews because they control everything.
Yeah, and if you want to reach out to us, we have socials. Twitter is at Make That Game Pod. You can tweet at us. I'm in charge of that one, so you can yell at me and my hot or cold takes and my really bad ideas. And
the Instagram is at Make That Game Pod as well. It's the same as the Twitter. And I am in control of the Instagram. I post some pretty silly pictures of some of our game ideas. And I also will do some behind the scenes editing and stuff like that. So that's the Instagram. And you can, I don't know, comment, I guess. Follow us. Engage however you feel. And if you have get your own game idea, or maybe you thought, hey, I came up with a really great name for that note passing game, you can email us at makethatgamepodcast@gmail.com, and your email just might be read on the air.
Oh, we would love emails and reviews and comments, tweets, DMs, all those things. Reach out to us. We love you, listeners. All right. Well, with that, I wanted to say thanks for listening. And if you like something that you hear tonight, or today, depending on when you're listening, you can go ahead and make that game. That's not what it sounds like.